Look at my portrait behind me. It's like you've made me out to be some sort of power figure. You know?
Absolutely.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Feeds my ego.
Mate.
Don't worry, it goes right back down when I go up to my house in the burbs.
Never worked with him before, but he is fantastic. He has been an absolute delight and an intensity to work with, which is exactly what we required. I think even between takes, I basically just stared into his eyes because that was the only place I felt I could look to remain focused. There's all these people shifting lights around and there's all this, that and the other. Everyone's preparing for the shots. So I would basically we would stare into each other's eyes and somehow in each other's eyes we found that focus, which is just grouse. It's fantastic. So.
Nick Whiteman had the most attention when it came to prosthetics, makeup, plaster casting, contact lenses. We even had a prosthetic nose on him at one stage that we striked from the film because that scene didn't work, but that doesn't matter. He underwent all the physical changes that sometimes actors have to do. And he was a very eccentric, quite a distinct character that sometimes I believe wrestles with himself personally. That I believe he was able to bring to the character a lot of himself as well, which is what I needed, because I needed Jigen to be the most believable and the most intimidating and the person that we most fear. It'll hurt. You've got to just absorb the pain for a few minutes.
Yeah.
And then it'll be okay.
Give us a look, Nick.
Yeah, it stings for a while and the pain just goes.
How long does it last?
The pain will probably start to go in about a minute.
Have you gone mad? Surely this could be meant with a stiff brandy in a glass.
I wish him death!
I was delighted when I was in Los Angeles and a woman came up to me after seeing the film and told me that if she saw Nick Whiteman on the street, she'd probably run the other way because she was that scared of him. That's the sort of thing I want to hear.
They're fantastic, great bunch of people, great actors. These are the times when you actually enjoy and appreciate working in films. Other times you just want to kill the lot of them. Yeah.
I have to say it was a delight. To Andy Dells, Andrew Carter, Fabian Lapham, who kept surprising me again and again, Ben Purdy and Lauren. They were all fantastic, and we were living the whole thing all the time. There wasn't a time when we weren't. And I think that's why, going back to the scout camp afterwards, there was still that vibe. We were still kind of on set. There wasn't a differentiation there.
Hi, my name's Andy Delves. I play the character of Richard Enfield. Enfield is, it's described as the well-known man about town, but I've expanded on that and made him a writer and artist. Yeah, so he's a bit more flamboyant, shall we say, than the rest of them. I got involved in the project 2 years ago. Then it went on the back burners, and a couple of years later it comes back up and blah, 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 blah.
That's not how I conduct interviews. I have to be sitting in a plush seat.
It's been great because I've never done short film or anything before. I've done like TV and stage and stuff, so this is all quite a fun experience actually. Yeah.
I'm told to speak my name soon.
Come. You can trust old Richard not to say anything.
On my character, Esra, on Maid 2, I tragically get killed.
Hang on, cut. My position is a very strange one.
You've got to remember, this is your estate. You are Dr. Jekyll. You don't need to say anything to anyone. You call the shots.
Andy plays a big part in being responsible for this film even happening. Do you remember at the wrap of Upsell and Suburban?
At Out of Lights 1.
The wrap. And Andy came up to me and said, "Hide and Seek's next," and it was, and it is.
Just hope this doesn't go into the bushes.
Jesus.
Whoa!
And there was that lunatic whom I still can't fathom. What's his name?
Our art director?
Our art director.
Mr. Camden Corbett.
Forgive me, Camden, but where the fuck do you come from? You know, I don't know what planet he's on, but he's brilliant. He's so skilled and talented at making these little carvings and
the bone carvings of the
fantastic.
canes.
It was probably the first time involving myself with the film, specifically straight from the script, and being able to articulate not only the vision that I could see through the script, but also, you know, having accumulated different skills throughout different films, that I could amalgamate them all together and I could just do the whole damn lot. Well, this is my favourite, you know, house. I've been living here for 10 years. I've never been thrown out by my landlord because he likes me too much and I think he's just a little bit scared of me. Actually, you know, got these, that one carved out of an antler, and believe it or not, an old pool cue. That suffered quite a bit of damage because we were hitting things along, looked quite brutal and quite evil. And then I had the one that I did for Jekyll. So, and that had the serpent coming up, the stick. So that also brought into the idea of the caduceus. And the caduceus became a very, very prominent sort of concept.
This is our legacy of commitment.
The craziest thing for me was when we were setting up to do the caduceus sequence. And we cleaned up and we put the whole room back into order and stuff like that. But the side table, we looked at that, and there it is. There's the most incredible, like, German caduceus all over the goddamn boards and everything. And we were just like, whoa! In this room, nowhere else in the whole bloody house except for in this room. And they was just like, man, I'm getting out of there. This is just too much. I've had enough.
Nathan and I have an intuition and an instinct between each other. We know when we're getting it right. We know when... I know when I'm doing what I should be doing by just a simple look from him. He doesn't need to even tell me. He'll look up from the monitor and he'll just look down at me and just nod. And I'm like, okay, cool, I've done it. I fell down the stairs, 2 flights of stairs, about midnight last night. Doesn't seem to have done me any harm. You're talking to someone who has an Egyptian curse on his family, so I'm not too worried about how much more bad luck I can get.
And here he is right now. Andrew, how do you feel about coming out? And we've only got half an hour.
The burial of the fridge.
You've got to pledge, you've got to fulfill your commitment. You lost the bet. We won. You had to help
Fair and square.
bury the fridge.
Now, yeah.
Has Nathan given clearance for the burial of a fridge?
Yes, Nathan.
For the record, I had no idea it was going down. That was something that Camden and Nathan, you know, had planned when we were staying as a group at Rowan. But me, you know, being the producer of the film, you know, I had to coordinate what was going on at the camp as well. And after I'd done all that and directed the film, I was in bed.
It became something that Nathan and I have been doing ever since, is being able to do professional work, but also still have the time to work out how to play shenanigans on people and have a bit of fun and really distort their image of what we are and what we do and that sort of work.
And there you have it, the best practical joke ever been played on a lead actor.
I think that's about as close as I've ever seen to a fridge getting buried in my entire life.
In the next few hours, I will pay homage, if you will, to Jack Nicholson's scene in The Shining and axe a door down. So that's going to require a hell of a lot of energy, which I'm trying to conserve right now.